Right, now I've been asked to show how I do the foundations for my stock whip handles. So this is for you, Chris. I use a newspaper to build up the shape, and the base that I use is a fiberglass rod. Now, these rods I purchased from the local rural store because they use them for electric fences. Now you should be able to get hold of these somewhere. These are 10mm. I buy them in 5-foot lengths because the handles, I make my handles 20 inches long, so that gives me 3 good handles from a length of fiberglass. This is the template that I use for the shape of the newspaper that I wrap around the handle. And there's 16 inches here, 5 inches there, 11 inches there. I should have marked that. And that should work out to 18 inches down there. I cut out 8 sheets of newspaper. Look, any old newspaper will do. Just put it on there. That little bit missing up there is not going to hurt anything. Stick it on there and cut it out. There's more than 8 sheets there. The dog thinks there's something to growl at. I don't know what, but there we go. Put this aside. Next time. Now we'll count out 8 sheets. 2, 3, 4. Now, this piece of fiberglass, I've cut a rebate in here, which is 2.5 inches. Then another small rebate in there, which is about 5/8 of an inch. And that's where the keeper will sit. Okay, so I'm going to go, what I'll do is put a little piece of leather over the end here. Hang on. Because if you don't do that, fiberglass will wear through your keeper. Just find a little piece like that over the end, and then over the whole thing will go the keeper. I'll do that now, and then I'll come back and show you. Now, before I forget, keeper shape, I've got a little wooden template that I use. It's about 7.5 inches long. I've had this for a long time. And at the widest part here is 2 inches. And in the middle, it's about 1 6/8, I suppose, something like that. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, it's not rocket science. And I'll cut these out, and I use 2 keepers together on my stock whips. Just give me that little bit of extra strength. Now, because the ends of that will be a bit too wide, what I do is skive this down to a feather edge, as usual. Whenever I want something, it's not there. There we go. Not the sharpest of knives either. I'll give that a quick sharp. Now most of my knives I use a steel to sharpen. I don't think I've touched a knife to a stone for a very long time. I either use a steel or a buffing wheel. Right. Now what I'll do is cut those down a little bit to size. And then they will fit onto there like so and be bound on. Okay, so I'll go and do that now and I'll be back. Now you can see there where that little piece of leather I put over that rebate on the end and bound that on, and now what I'll do is put the keeper on. Now just a word about this fiberglass. When I grind this off on a belt sander, but you must wear a mask, and if you don't want to get little bits of fiberglass in your fingers that itch and for ages and ages, you should wear gloves as well, and glasses, because there are bits of fiberglass flying up all over the place when you do this on the belt sander, so be careful. Don't breathe this stuff in. It'll do damage to your lungs. If you can do it outside, all the better. Right, now I've put the keeper on, and the reason it's that shape is that now when I go to put the thong on, just makes it easier to, you can fold this in here like so. Yeah, on a good day. Yeah. It gives you a nice neat quadruple layer of leather, really. It makes it very strong there. Right, now we'll put the paper on the get down. Dogs are annoying me. We'll put the paper on the handle. And to do that, I'll lay out a strip of tape. So, and just stick every individual sheet on. So this is the end that'll be up towards the keeper. Right. So what we'll do is stick this on. We'll also bring it back just a smidgen, and that way we get a nice gradual taper and not all of a sudden have a lump there where 8 sheets of paper end. So another strip of tape. I use 8 if that's too thick, or you can use 6 or 7 or whatever takes your fancy. 6. And 8. Now with 8 that usually gives me a diameter of the thickest part of the handle of about 19mm, and then that once I've put the leather on will give me a 22mm handle at the thickest part. Now we'll wrap this paper around the handle. I'd like to start there, so that's there. Stick that on. Like so. Cut yourself a little bit of tape. And roll that up as tight as you possibly can. You'll notice this paper will be over the end of this the whip handle here. That doesn't matter. We'll cut that off later on. And that can also be used to tie your strands on. Roll it up nice and tight. When you get to there, take a little piece of tape, tape it up. Now what I'm going to do now is bind all this with wax thread all the way. That gives me a nice tight fit, because if I don't do that, you'll get a spongy sort of a handle. So I like to bind it all with wax thread, and like I said, that makes it all nice and tight. I'll do that and I'll come back. Right, it's finished and all bound up. We're getting close. It's fairly tight, and I've given it a quick roll. And that's it. And that's ready now for the outer lace covering to be put on, to be plaited on. And there you go. That's about all you need to know, I think. If you watch these videos on a regular basis, I'm presuming you already know how to plait. So tie your strands on here where there's no handle. Just tie them on there roughly. Start your plaiting from there, and then by the time you get to here where the end of your handle is, everything will be nice and neat. And then later on you can just cut that off there, bind it off there and cut it off, and put your knot on. There you go. At this end, what I normally do is plait right up to here. Bind it off as I would in putting a keeper on, so I'll bind it off right down to here, and then over that I'll put a what you call a grapevine lashing in lace, and that hides that the rough part there. So there you go, Chris, that's how it's done, mate. Hope that's been of use to you.